been so good this year. What did you see was either missing for him or just kind of allowed for them to get to him tonight?
Yeah, Tanner's been great. I think it was just, he got count leverage on every guy, essentially. And, I think, starting with the Crawford at bat, you get him 0-2, and then you leave a slider. He blocks it for a hit, and then you get count leverage on Harper, and then you get Sosa, you get count leverage, you get 0-2 to 1-2, and then you throw a pitch in his wheelhouse, and that's what happens. It happened quick. But yeah, Tanner's been great. No one's trying to give up hits and homers, but part of the the equation is you get count leverage, and then you got to be able to put them away. And tonight we couldn't do that.
When you look at just the positives of this game, Suzaki is very much one of them. Is it like it's probably the most complete outing that he has had, or even just when you look at who he is right now on the mound, this is kind of the most complete picture you've seen?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's, I think this whole month of May, I don't know the numbers, but I know the month of May, it's been a very good month for him. It seems like every outing he continues to improve. And tonight the velocity was where, we were hoping it would be. And so then you layer the velocity with the command, with the secondary. And then, he made the one mistake to Bohm. But outside of that, I thought he was very good.
Has 100 in there still, but were you surprised to see it pop up on the board as quickly as it did, just the way like the fastball kind of played up tonight?
I was. I didn't know, where the velocity was going to be, but you can see he's been working hard on, in the weight room, in his side work, and then you layer the confidence and the conviction, all that stuff. So then you get a really good fastball with really good command. And so it's a very good lineup over there. I know they're not swinging the bats the way that they will, but good team over there, and he really kept them at bay.
You made a really big deal about getting Velocity back to his first game to sign with you guys. Like, how much confidence can that give him to get back to that level and also have added on and layered on all these other things to his game?
It's great because I think that now, early this season, after every throw, he was looking at the radar gun to see what the velocity was. Now there's just a confidence that the throw's good, the feel is good, and that's his validation. He doesn't need to kind of, search for velocity or chase velocity. So he's in a really good spot.
Is there anything you can point to, like between his last start and this one, that might have helped it kind of click for him, like velocity?
I don't know. I do know that Mark and Connor are working really hard with trying to continue to, lock in his delivery. And so it's athletic, it's not mechanical. And, so he's freed up mentally. But I don't know specifically what they're working on.
How much do you think he grew up mentally?
He's grown up a lot. I think, even just by the eye, he's much more physical. He's Travis Smith. One of our strength guys has been working really hard with Roki and trying to build some mass and some strength. And so you see that. And then, you see kind of his mound presence. He doesn't look unsure of himself anymore. Just it's real confidence.
Does that
mean difference can it make if he maintains that velocity?
I mean, it's he's then, gets into a new category of, a real major league starter in the sense of for a championship team. And we talked, this afternoon about he still hasn't had a lot of professional innings, let alone major league innings. But, what he's doing right now, I think is sustainable.
For you watching, are you a little more relaxed now than you were watching him earlier in the year?
I am. I think that, early on, certainly last year and a little bit of this year, you're trying to protect him. I think that you're trying to not let the shoe drop and, leave him with a feeling of confidence when he leaves the mound. Today, I thought he was still throwing the baseball well, but I just felt that with two guys coming up, I felt Alex was a good matchup for those two guys. And, opportunity to push Roki a little bit more later. But, yeah, I'm not necessarily pins and needles, but I'm just kind of feel like I can give him a little bit more leash now.
Kyle took pregame batting practice for the first time, and obviously had a couple situational at-bats. Like, where are you seeing this swing at right
Yeah, he's working hard. As you mentioned, hit early today on the field, hit again on the field. Yeah, it's a work in progress. I think he's frustrated with his swing and, really getting beat on some pitches today, hitting it hard. So, but he's working through it.
Rookie said he didn't force himself to get the strikeout. I think he came really organic way. Do you think he kind of started understanding baseball, Major League Baseball now?
I think he's understanding Major League hitters. I think he's, again, going back to the confidence. And sometimes, yeah, you can't always chase a strikeout if guys are swinging early. And with that, he was getting a lot of, early outs, which was certainly helpful. But when he needed the strikeouts, he was getting them, which is kind of the